Most of us are operating under a massive biological delusion. We log 5 or 6 hours of sleep, wake up, pour a coffee, and tell ourselves we're functioning perfectly well. But those missed hours don't evaporate. They accumulate as sleep debt. If your body requires 8 hours and you give it 6, you've just taken out a 2-hour physiological loan. Do that all week, and you're carrying 14 hours of debt that actively degrades your brain function. Researchers have been tracking the mechanics of exhaustion for decades. Time and again, they find the exact same pattern when human subjects try to cheat their sleep. The danger lies in what's known as the perception gap. The prefrontal cortex, the region of the brain responsible for self-awareness and complex reasoning, is the first area to power down when you're tired. After a week of restricted sleep, your brain lowers its definition of normal. You feel fine simply because the neural circuitry required to realize you're impaired is offline. You are failing on a cellular level, and your brain has successfully deleted your ability to notice. To test how deep this illusion goes, one subject designed a strict 60-day biological intervention. In bed by 10 p.m., awake at 6 a.m., 8 hours on the clock. No exceptions for weekends, and absolutely no screens after 9 p.m. The first 2 weeks were brutal. Lying in the dark, the body fought the new routine. The mind raced with lingering thoughts from the workday. Committing 8 hours to the bed didn't instantly translate to 8 hours of actual sleep. While the conscious mind was frustrated, the biology was already beginning to repair itself. By day 14, the first objective marker of adaptation surfaced. This chart plots baseline grip strength, a highly accurate indicator of overall central nervous system recovery. After hovering at 49 kilograms, it suddenly shot up to 51 kilograms at the 2-week mark. There was zero additional physical training to account for this. During these 60 days, sleep functioned as an active, highly metabolic driver of physical capacity. Looking at this progression over a full 6 weeks, that baseline grip strength climbed steadily from 49 kilograms all the way to 54. This happens through a mechanism called supercompensation. When you work out, you break down tissue. It's only during the deepest stages of sleep that your body releases the necessary surges of growth hormone to rebuild those tissues stronger than before. The cardiorespiratory system mirrored this muscular response. In the first week, the subject's 5-kilometer running pace sat at 5 minutes and 10 seconds per kilometer. By week 8, that pace dropped to 4 minutes and 48 seconds. Aerobic capacity relies heavily on the body's ability to maximize oxygen delivery. Without sufficient sleep, the body is forced to skip the crucial maintenance phases required for repairing torn fibers and expanding capillary networks. By enforcing an optimal recovery window, the body stops merely struggling back to a baseline. It uses the extra time to actively upgrade its structural and aerobic limits. Internally, the changes were just as measurable. Resting heart rate fell from 62 down to 56 beats per minute. This specific drop is clinical proof that the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's internal braking mechanism, was finally getting enough rest to take over. By week 3, the afternoon energy cliff vanished. These crashes occur when accumulated sleep debt temporarily overpowers the body's internal waking signals. In this chart, we can map how daytime energy is regulated. Your brain builds up sleep pressure, known as process S, while your circadian rhythm dictates alertness. A consistent 8-hour sleep schedule aligns these two forces perfectly, removing the afternoon crash entirely. As that rhythm locks into place, morning cortisol, the primary stress hormone, tells the final part of the story, plummeting from a chronically elevated 18 nanograms per milliliter down to a healthy, balanced 12. Giving your body back its required rest repairs the muscular system while simultaneously synchronizing the nervous, circadian, and endocrine networks. While the physical metrics tell an impressive story, the behavioral shifts were equally severe, altering daily life from the inside out. Even something as simple as hunger normalized. Chronic sleep loss floods the brain with ghrelin, the hormone that triggers appetite, while suppressing leptin, the signal that tells you you're full. Paying off the sleep debt reverses this chemical imbalance. With the prefrontal cortex fully powered up, emotional resilience stabilized. Situations that previously caused acute stress were met with patience. Complex problems were processed quickly. the daily friction of decision paralysis cleared entirely. There was far less second-guessing and hesitation. The brain moved with absolute friction-free focus. Paying off sleep debt rebuilds the physical machine, while simultaneously restoring the core cognitive and emotional functions that define our waking identity. The immediate objection to this entire protocol is always time. Ambitious people look at 8 hours in bed and see a third of life wasted. They convince themselves they cannot afford the luxury of rest. But treating those 60 days strictly as an equation, we must weigh the 2 hours lost to the pillow against the total return on investment. An extra 2 hours a night bought a 5-kilogram increase in strength, a 22-second drop in run pace, and a dramatically lower resting heart rate, and absolute cognitive clarity. Without question, 8 hours of consistent sleep is the most potent biological performance enhancer available. The numbers don't lie. Sacrificing your rest for the sake of productivity doesn't make you more effective. It is an act of biological self-sabotage.